Housing is considered such a hard-solving problem in Manila, the capital of the Philippines, that many people are forced to turn cemeteries into their homes. The North Manila Cemetery is a prime example. This has been a settlement of thousands of people for many decades. When the cemetery turns into a residence, Manila is the most populous city in the Philippines, with a population of about 12 million people. However, up to 40% of the population lives below the poverty line and often concentrates in slums. To limited financial capacity, along with the scarcity of urban housing, is the reason why many people come to the cemetery north of Manila, then make their home here. It's difficult to point out exactly when the first residents of Manila moved to live in this cemetery. In the 1990s, the Philippine population increased, and along with the urbanization process, the number of people migrating to North Manila increased. It's estimated that by 2012, there are about 6,000 to 10,000 people living in this cemetery. Life next to the deceased. While visiting North Manila, Lauren Clark, an American journalist, became acquainted with two boys, Lee and James. The two boys took Lauren to visit their bedroom, and the bed was the grave of the dead. The North's living quarters are made up of wooden or corrugated iron panels stacked on the top of hundreds of stone tombs. In the tombs, as well as the structures that people built on the tombs, many families still live quietly from day to day. Mr. Gonzalez, who lives near the North Manila Cemetery, used to come here every night to sit on a grave and play a crossword puzzle. He says his house is more dangerous than here because at least dead people won't harm you. According to the people's conception, as long as they respect the deceased, they will live peacefully. Therefore, the children here still comfortably play on the graves without being afraid of anything, struggling to make a living with many different occupations. In the North Manila Cemetery, electricity is pulled through loudspeakers and most people don't have enough clean water. Although living in rather poor conditions like that, many people still find work thanks to those who have died. Young people help carry coffins for 50 pesos. Children collect plastic and metal from waste to sell. Some people also take care of and guard the graves. Over time, the North Manila Cemetery gradually turned into a metropolis. In fact, this place developed quite strongly with a large and complex network of streets and alleys, weaving between tens of thousands of tombs. Stalls of fast food, groceries, and cigarettes also sprang up to cater to those who come to funerals or to visit graves. This place also even has karaoke, bars, and internet cafes. Besides some jobs such as tending graves or collecting scraps, North Manila Cemetery also has tailors, beauticians, and teachers, all of whom have lived peacefully together for decades. It's because of this difference that the North Manila Cemetery has become a place visited by many tourists. Many visitors believe that the North Manila Cemetery is also a place for people to understand more about the life of the poor in the Philippines. Facing many dangers, since the 2000s, many new residents have moved to the North Manila Cemetery as its crime rate has increased dramatically and people's lives have been turned upside down. In the mornings, residents here can smell the pungent smell of drugs. This smoke sometimes comes from pregnant women or holding the newborn baby in their arms. The president of the Philippines then launched a campaign to crack down on drug crime across the country and of course, including the cemetery north of Manila. No matter how peaceful the cemetery is, it's still not a good environment for the development of children. The gloomy and mournful atmosphere has often made many children difficult to communicate with the commune. About 30% of children here are illiterate. Over the years, the government has made efforts to move people out of the North Manila Cemetery and providing them with a variety of accommodation options. However, they still want to return to the old place because they have really considered this place as their home. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye.